Remember when movie posters used to be cool? What happened? G'day guys, this is Holy Critic, back with you again. And today I wanted to talk about the subject of movie posters. Some of you might know that one of my favourite pastimes is actually restoring old posters. Case in point is the one you see on screen called Mamba. Now, this is a movie that you've probably never heard of or seen in your life. And I have to admit that I personally love bringing back posters that are completely dead. Back in the 1980s, you could say that even third-rate movies had cool posters. And while the movie itself may have been total trash, in this case I think it's about a genetically modified black mamba snake that gets released into a woman's apartment by her jilted ex-lover. You know, pretty hokey nonsense plot, right? But you might want to see the movie if you see a cool movie poster. And that kind of used to be the point. It used to promote the movie. I can't personally tell you in the last 10, 15, even 20 years, a movie that had a cool poster to it. You know, everyone I see today is basically a carbon copy of everything else I've already seen. And it's hard to discern one movie from the next. At least the old iconic posters, they were distinctive. You remembered them. I'll just go through a list of movies that came out in recent times and tell me if any of these actually look appealing, that you'd want to watch them. This movie called Arrival, a giant turd floating in the sky. Would you want to watch that movie? This one here, Ashton Kutcher, Katherine Heigl. I certainly wouldn't watch those two actors if you paid me to do it. Thor, The Dark World, never seen it. But if I look at the poster, what conclusion am I supposed to come to? What do I describe it? A scattershot? All over the place? Overuse of CGI? I wouldn't watch a movie like that because I wouldn't know where to start. Tim Allen's Shaggy Dog. Would you watch that? Okay, that's not fair. That's Walt Disney. I'll move on from that one. You get my point. I mean, this every poster, it sucks. They don't even try. It's just computer effects. Here's another example, and this is even worse than the one I just showed you. You've got all these actors, and none of them look like they're actually in the scene together. It looks like they've taken different still shots and just put them together. Like they couldn't get him in one room to take a photo. And their heads aren't even proportional to the body. Look at this guy here. Does that look like his head is on his body there? Oh, well, here's an even worse offender. A movie called The Penthouse, but do any of those actors look like they're actually in a bed together? Nothing is proportional. And it's like posters these days are just plain lazy. And it got me thinking, what made those old movie posters iconic? What made you remember it? Like The Thing, John Carpenter. It's a distinctive image. It grabs your attention and it actually makes you think, what am I looking at here? Chinatown? And it looks like these old posters, they were all hand-drawn. Like the one I showed you originally, this poster here, it's not computer-generated. Somebody actually drew that snake and the woman. And for whatever reason, it feels like practical effects, things that physically exist in the real world, look far more superior than the computer-generated ones. I mean, any one of these images you're looking at right now from these classic movies, I don't even have to tell you the name of the movie. You could just see a snippet, Michael J. Fox's face, and you'd know, oh, that's Back to the Future. Scarface, which I've got a poster of. Well, here's a classic example. Silence of the Lambs, right? There's a lot of complexity to this image. You've got Jodie Foster's face. She plays an FBI agent. Her eyes, however, are blood red. Who has blood red eyes in the movie? Hannibal Lecter. And on top of that, you've got a moth. Well, if you've seen the movie, the moth is almost integral to the plot because part of the MO of the serial killer, he used moths by putting them in the victims' mouths. So the movie poster is abstract. It takes a little bit of thinking, critical thinking. All those elements within the poster are explained by the movie. Alien, simple but effective. You see an egg hatching, but you know the egg's not a chicken's egg. It's glowing green. So you know something that's coming out of it is not something you've ever seen before. It makes you want to watch the movie. It's enticing. Well, there's another good poster, Pulp Fiction. The poster itself looks like a torn up magazine. That's cool. It's different. It's original. Jaws, again, another example, a simple but effective poster. What lies beneath the surface? The threat that you can't see. The subliminal. It's a classic image. I could just show you the shark's head and you know what movie I'm talking about. So what has happened to Hollywood is that I believe they have become too afraid to take risks. Number one, it's far too easy to create a poster now, so they just slap it together and don't even care to make it even look proportional. I mean, look, that's a dumb poster. Why is her head so big? There's another one, Bruce Willis in a sequel for Die Hard. And they've bastardized the most famous quote in the movie. I mean, that's just... I remember seeing this one a while ago. One Missed Call, and I thought, is it about aliens? Is that what it's about? No, it's just a woman screaming and they're trying to make eyes out of the holes. It's just dumb, derivative, garbage. Hostel, I mean, what is that? A piece of meat? Need I go any further? This is what Hollywood has devolved into. The poster for a horror movie is just a slab of flayed meat, you know? God, I mean, they're not even trying. And then you've got a guy basically molesting a woman in Good Luck Chuck. Would you see that movie? It doesn't even look like he's hugging Jessica Alba there. She's like in a green pasture and he's clinging like a baby ape to her. I mean, just terrible, terrible. And just before I wrap this video up, I have to clarify one small pet peeve of mine. And that's people who say, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And my response to that is always the same. But a good book cover will at the very least get you to turn the first page. And then you can judge the contents thereon in as to whether it was worth your time reading. When it comes to movies, I apply the same principle. If it's got a bad movie poster, and especially some of these are appealing to people with double digits IQ, maybe even single in some cases, they're giving you a little hint, little clue as to whether what you're about to watch is going to intellectually stimulate you in any meaningful way. That's just my 2 cents. I'll let you make up your own mind on that topic. But by all means, I encourage you to check out my tutorial video using Photoshop on how to restore movie posters, because I have a great love for the craft, and I'm hoping I can continue to bring you more movie content going forward. Enjoy the rest of your day, and this is Holy Critic signing out.